Yo, Grand Rising family. It's your boy Precise Thoughts, man. Good morning. It's Friday. I'm excited this morning. And, man, I'm just clocking in for work right now. It's 6 o'clock in the morning out here in Arizona. But, yeah, just wanted to talk to you guys, let you know a little bit about my background. I thought something that would be interesting would be some of the things I did, some of the jobs I've had over the years. And then we can talk about some more ways to make money that I've been looking at. Let's see. My first job was in South Hill, Virginia, and that was working for a fast food restaurant called Bojangles, which is one of my favorite restaurants of all time. Rest in peace to Andy. Andy was my boss at that time. He was a great guy. He would pick me up from work, drop me off from work. I would close with him. He would allow me to take any leftover food home. I would come home and we have a hood party. I have a bunch of chicken breasts and sweet potato pies and biscuits. You know what I'm saying? Dirty rice and everything like that. Come home and everybody, you know, D, let me get a couple pieces of that chicken. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Especially on the weekends, man. But anyway, that was my first job. And then when I went away back to California after school, I worked at, let me see, what was the first job I probably got. This was a while ago. I want to say Round Table Pizza. No, it probably was Home Depot before that. So Home Depot, I was a forklift driver. That was a fun job. I ended up getting caught up in a class action lawsuit because at that time, Home Depot was not allowing people to go on their breaks at the. They weren't allowing people to go on their breaks at the right time. You know what I mean? So end up getting a check for like 75 cents. A couple years later, from Home Depot. And I do remember some tension with my management there in Stockton, California, where it was like every time it was like break time and lunchtime, they would be like, "No, we have this order coming in. We got the truck coming in. We need everything off the truck." But I wasn't tripping because I was a forklift driver, so I just boom, boom, get everything off the truck, drive the forklift, smash it around the store. It was fun for me, you know. And then I worked in the garden area, so it wasn't even an area that was like needed to be stocked all the time. Basically my responsibilities were just to water the plants and whenever the garden area truck came, get everything off there. And I'm even stocking everything with the forklift, like just moving pallets. You know what I'm saying? So that job was fairly simple. The pay was not great, and I ended up going to Round Table Pizza because they offered more hours for me. The pay was still low, but with more hours, pretty close to home. It was in walking distance. Round Table Pizza learned how to make pizza. I also learned how people be hustling and scamming at a restaurant. So they used to call in right before we closed. They would get buddies to call in for pizzas with all the toppings that they want on it, right? And never could pick the pizzas up. Sometimes they would do it throughout the day, but not as often as before the shift ends. That would be the best time to do it because we're about to close or the new shift's coming in. So no, it kind of goes unnoticed. So they would have people call in and order pizzas with all kind of toppings, and then when nobody comes and picks it up, we be back there tearing that pizza up. And I wasn't even hip to the game. Here I am, green country boy, not knowing no game, no hustle. But all I know is I'm eating free pizza every day at a job that charges us for lunch. But you talking about it's Round Table, man. That's a good quality pizza. So we been there tearing that pizza up until I called it one day, and I saw one of my coworkers was like, yeah, have so and so call in for a pizza or whatever, and I was like, oh, that's what they doing. So yeah, And then my next job after Roundtable was I worked at this place called Metro 411. Metro 411 was a teleconcierge place. And this was early 2000s. So I was making like $17 an hour at this job, which was very decent money for that time period. And back home in Virginia, people were still making like $5 an hour. Here I am in California, you know, I had a girlfriend at the time and we worked there at the same time. It was Metro 411. So what we basically did was people would call us like the smartphone age hadn't even really took hold yet. So everyone's phones didn't really have access to the internet. Well, I had access to the internet, but people still use 411. So that was me when you called 411. And you could schedule movies. We had a database in the system where you can get movie times. You could schedule appointments or at restaurants or whatever. Reservations is the word I'm looking for. Anyway, yeah, you could schedule reservations at restaurants. You could get open and close times and movie start times and reservations at all different kind of places. And we had access to we're basically we had everyone's personal information. We had a directory. I was a 411 operator, but it was a super duper fun job. It was simple, you know. I typed fairly fast, and that was pretty much the only prerequisite. They didn't even have like educational prerequisites. That job ended up losing its contract because I would say because due to technology, in general. Um, but after that, I worked at this place called Aztec Bricks, and it was a warehouse where we flash sanded bricks. The bricks would come on a conveyor belt, and we would stuff them in this, and they would go through this furnace, and there'd be a flash sander, where this furnace just heats everything up in that brick to 1,000 degrees and gets all the rust off of the bricks. And then they go in through one side, and they come. My part was to add them to the conveyor belt, boop boop boop, and then the second part would push them through the blaster, sand blaster, and then they come out of that, and then somebody else had a cool off station, and then they had another station that would rack them, get them wrapped up and get ready to shipped out. So we're shipping brakes out to automobile part places, then other storage facilities, things like that. Straightforward job, simple job. Learn how to operate some equipment like the blaster, sand blaster, uh, certain conveyor belt techniques and things like that. Now worked at let's see, what happened after that? Then I want to say I went to New York. No, yeah, I went to New York. But before I went to New York, I actually came back to Virginia for a short period of time. I actually worked at Bojangles again a couple years later. Got my job immediately back. As soon as I walked in there, my boss, I said, "Hey man, I'm gonna be out here just a little while. I just need a couple dollars while I'm transitioning. I'm about to move to New York." Allowed me to get my job back because I was in good standing. So that's some good information. Always stay in good standing with people because they will look out for you. If you had jobs and stuff, and you never know when you might have to go back. Don't burn your bridges. So I got my job back immediately. I worked for about a month, said my farewell wells, and moved on to New York. In New York, I ended up landing a position. My brother helped me do some networking, and I met uh, a restaurant owner, uh, and then it was Vinny's Italian restaurant. So I worked there for 6 years straight. Met some great people, and I became a cook. And I actually, um, you know, got culinary arts certificate working there. Boss helped me go through school and everything for that. Got me all ready and prepped up, and I did that position for about 6 years. I was in New York about 7 years, and from there came back to Cali. Worked at another warehouse, um, Trader Joe's warehouse. That was that was that warehouse's client, and we stored goods for Trader Joe's, wine, everything that Trader Joe's sells. Pretty much, we stored and we shipped out to Trader Joe's. That job I did pallet jack, electric pallet jack. We riding on those. We doing pulling. If you know about that, that's a typical warehouse job where you're stacking pallets. I did a little bit of forklifting, a little bit of reach. Oh, excuse me, a little bit of reach lift. Um, a little bit of the wrap machine where you're wrapping the pallets when they're done being stacked. I did some lumping where you're pulling product off trucks all day, and also did some truck stocking where you're loading trucks, truck loading or whatever. Then from there, what happened after Trader Joe's? Okay, then I worked for a loan modification company. All right, this is where I met some really, really, really dope people. We used to hang out all the time, go clubbing, uh, at this loan place in Stockton. Um, Not really much to say about the job. It was pretty simple. It was inbound. Uh, People were trying to get their loans modified because this was during the foreclosure time. So, yeah, moved on from that to Walmart, I want to say. From Walmart was one of my worst jobs ever. I did stocking at Walmart. Met some dope people some people I'm still friends with right now to this day. It was in Oakland, California. When I started off the job, they were remodeling. They were opening a new Walmart. That Walmart went on to be, excuse me, top in sales in Northern California. When we were done with it, I was with the remodel crew. Funnest part ever. Funnest thing I've ever done. You know, forklift driving, certifications, and all kind of equipment to do the remodel. Man, that job was super duper fun at that point in time. When we did the remodel, lasted about 3 4 months, and then I got my position being a loader in the back, an unloader. That was horrible. They wouldn't let us go to break on time. They wouldn't let us go to lunch on time. It was crazy, you know. Um, Ended up getting another job working at this place in Brisbane, California, which was super duper far from where I lived, but the pay was much higher. And I did reach lift operating that position. Cool job, super duper. It was through a temp agency, super duper cool job, whatever. Met some cool people there, but that job's my contract expired on that job. Then I went on to work at Volunteers of America, I want to say, after that, while I worked directly with felons for reentry. I was a monitor, and we worked close with the felons, issuing out medications, doing, we talk with them and everything like that. And we associate with them, and we would monitor them. We had to do checks. It was kind of like working at a correction facility almost. We had to go up and do counts and everything of all the people, of all the residents and everything, but definitely wasn't like jail, but it's kind of like that at the facility. And then after that, I worked for the state of California, and I worked at the state for about 3 years. DMV, Department of Motor Vehicles. That was a cool job, good benefits and everything. And I actually worked for VOA and DMV at the same time. Did a little bit of Uber. California is very expensive. But yeah, this video is getting super duper long. So I'm going to make another video later. And that's going to be discussing how to make some money. Which I wanted to get into, but the video getting too long and I was rambling. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this short. So thanks for checking me out, y'all. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. So if you have anybody, if you I would love you guys' support. And yeah, I'm gonna get my hair done today. I know it look crazy with this hat on and everything, but I would love you guys' support, man. Like, share, and subscribe to my videos. I'm trying to become monetized so I can go live and I can have people, you know, give some feedback from everybody live while I'm doing my thing throughout the day. You know, my music production. If you need any music, hit me up for all your products. Anything you're pretty much doing may need music. You know, if you're creating content, you need some, original music. If you're doing music yourself, singing or rapping, you need original music. So hit me up. My email is precisethoughtsbeats@gmail.com. Precisethoughtsbeats@gmail.com. Or you can hit me up on here in the comment section. Um, yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this short, man. Y'all be good, and I'll holler at y'all a little bit later.